Esteemed shareholders of Aradel Holdings Plc, the chairman and members of the board of directors, the chairman and members of the statutory audit committee, regulators here present, representatives of the registrar, coronation registrars, representatives of the external auditors, Deloitte and Touche, management and staff of Aradel Holdings Plc here present, members of the fourth realm of the estate, the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to address you at the 29th annual general meeting of our company, taking place here at the Jewel Aida Event Center at number 105, Akim Dixon Link Road, Lekki Phase 1, Lagos, under the theme, Unleashing Growth, a theme that succinctly describes the phase we are in at this exciting journey of our corporate existence. It is not my intention to bore you with the elaborate details of how we have fared in the past financial year, as this has been well documented in the 2023 annual report and accounts that have been circulated to you prior to now. I will, however, touch on a few key points by way of context and provide perspectives on where we are at in 2024 and with a modest outlook on what to expect for the rest of the year and beyond. I'd like to start by speaking a bit to 2023 in context. In 2023, the global oil and gas industry sustained the rebound from the global economic fortunes or misfortunes that trailed COVID-19. Demand for fossil fuel held firm throughout the year, leading to relatively strong crude oil prices. Nigeria's average daily oil and condensate production in 2023 was about 1.47 million barrels per day, which is a 6.5% increase over the 1.38 million barrels per day average performance in 2022. Most of this increase came about as a result of improvement in the availability and fidelity of our crude export pipeline systems that enabled a number of wells that were shut in prior to be produced. The gains of unlocking this shut-in production were, however, counterbalanced by the combination of natural reservoir declines and an insipid level of investment in new drills, evidenced by a very low-level rig count, which as at November 2023 was 14, even though that seemed to be a modest increase on the December 2022 rig rate of 10. But for the sort of reservoirs and resources we have in our country, this is nonetheless a very low rig rate. In contrast, our company achieved an average daily production of 9,700 barrels per day in 2023, which is 147% higher than the 3.9 thousand barrel average performance in 2022. Most of this increase came about as a result of bringing on stream new wells that were drilled, and also as a consequence of significantly improved evacuation systems for our crude production. The year in question witnessed large scale up of our alternative crude evacuation via barging, improvement in availability of the Trans-Niger Pipeline TMP, and increased offtake from our modular refinery. All these enabled the unlocking of deferred production. The implication of our operational performance in 2023 is that our company grew 22 times more than the national industry grew in the same year in terms of average crude oil production. We also delivered a 50% increase in gas produced and sold, and a 75% increase in our refined volumes, totaling to 268 million liters, compared to what we achieved in 2022. In 2023, when we had this same AGM, I made a statement quoting from Mahatma Gandhi that the future depends on what we do in the present. Nothing could have been truer in contextualizing our company's performance for the year under review. The dogged pursuit of multiple initiatives, guided by the strategic leadership of our experienced board of directors, fueled by an extremely hardworking, passionate, and dedicated workforce, created mutually assuring outcomes that enabled the outstanding growth in the operational performance that I just cited. As multiple initiatives matured, we witnessed significant improvements in the levels of redundancies in our operations and logistics setup, and we considerably reduced deferments, improved facility uptime, and the delivery of the incremental growth as newly drilled wells were brought on stream, among others, were the outcomes that trade all of that. It's important to note that whilst operating at record level production numbers, on a BOE basis, we replaced every single barrel that we produced in 2023 by a factor greater than 1. And this provides a very calming assurance for sustainability going into the future. This operational performance, coupled with various financial and commercial initiatives, translated into the record financial performance that is showcased in the 2023 financial accounts relative to that of 2022 and the prior years. And this includes, among others, the following key highlights. Revenue growth of 120% in functional dollar basis, translating to 230% growth in Naira terms. Operating profit growth of 100% in functional dollar basis, translating to 290% growth in Naira terms. PBT growth of 72% in functional dollar basis, translating to 240% in Naira terms. PAT growth of 97% in functional dollar basis, translating to 255% growth in Naira. And an earning per share growth of 100% in functional dollar basis, translating to 255% in Naira terms. Our company's share traded at 187 Naira at the start of 2023. By the end of the year, it traded at 1,089 Naira, representing a 480% growth as at December 31, 2023, and ending up as the stock with the highest growth rate on the NASD for the year 2023. It is our conviction that this growth is the market's response to the sterling operational and financial results which we have been publishing on a quarterly basis. It is therefore not surprising that the credibility of our theme for this AGM, Unleashing Growth, takes its root firmly from the datum of these results on one hand, and the fledgling and sustainable outlook for 2024 and beyond, which I'm going to speak to next. So let me talk about the context for the year 2024. Our first quarter 2024 unaudited accounts that have been published are the clearest lens to gauge what this year holds in stock. The account shows that at both operational and financial levels, our company is not letting off from where we ended in 2023. Crude oil production was 13,250 barrels per day for Q1 of 2024, up by 36% from the average for the full year 2023 numbers. Gas production was 36.8 million scf per day, also up by 36% from the average full year 2023 numbers. and refined volumes was 722,000 liters per day, slightly down by 1.6% from the average full year 2023 numbers. In comparison to the same period in 2023, our first quarter 2024 revenues are up by 90%, and profit before tax is up by 62%, both in functional USD terms. Our development program to grow both production and reserves in Ogbele, which is our flagship asset, continues apace with our ongoing drilling campaign. In 2023, we commenced a joint venture business partnership to deliver renewable energy solutions using solar energy. This is the first step of an ultimate Aradel renewables play that will be scaled up in subsequent years, and we further diversify our energy solution offerings. Our plan and efforts to commence PMS production from our modular refinery are ongoing, and we project that we shall complete the commissioning of our PMS train sometimes towards the end of this year. In January 2024, our company, together with 4 other partners, in a consortium, incorporated a company called Renaissance Africa Energy Company, which successfully executed a sale and purchase agreement to acquire Shell International PLC's interest in the Shell Petroleum Development Company PLC, SPDC. This milestone acquisition, when approved, will further strengthen Aradel's positioning in the Nigerian energy market. Last week, we remain a point of positive reference in the exciting journey of our company. In the course of last week, 2 very important milestone events took place that are worthy of note. First, on Wednesday, 29th of May, our company joined the elite rank of companies in Nigeria that attained the 1 trillion naira market capitalization as we closed at 4,882 naira per share at the end of the day's trading. As if this was not enough, 2 days later, specifically on the 31st of May, Aradel achieved first oil production from Omerelu field upon successful re-entry and completion of the Omerelu 2 ST well. These 2 milestones, among others, provide clear indication of the solid foundation and the bright future that we see and that we are relentlessly pursuing. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you are aware of the numerous benefits that come with a company of our pedigree and track record being listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the NGX. This has been the desire of the rank and file of our shareholders and has been the focus of board and management over the years. We have consequently commenced necessary steps in preparation for the listing of our company by introduction on the NGX. We believe without a shadow of doubt that this is the right time to take this step, and we all must not delay in giving the right endorsements to actualize this dream. Once we receive your approvals to the resolutions that were included in the notice of the AGM, we shall be fully unleashed to progress this journey to list on the main board of the NGX, a transaction that we are committed to completing in this year, 2024. Let me round up. In terms of our commitment to our host communities and in compliance with the Petroleum Industry Act, PIA of 2021, we have done the following. Number 1, we have established the Host Community Trust Fund for our flagship asset in Ogbele. We have also put in place the necessary organs of the trusts, which includes the Board of Trustees, the Management Committee, and the Advisory Committee. We have funded the trust fund with the mandatory contributions for the periods that were due in line with the PIA. A detailed needs assessment, which will translate into a 5-year community development plan, is presently ongoing. This development plan will cascade into various socio-economic interventions that will deliver sustainable benefits to our host communities. And last but not the least on that point, in addition, we continue to conduct our operations in ways that demonstrate our continuing duty of care to the environment. Please permit me to put on record my special appreciation to, first, our shareholders, on whose behalf we continue to pilot the affairs of our great company. I also like to appreciate the chairman and the entire board of directors for constantly keeping us on our toes and driving performance through strong corporate governance and strategic leadership. I'd like to thank my team of colleagues whose commitments to the cause have been top-notch in terms of passion, dedication, and professionalism. I'd like to thank our host communities who continue to show us tremendous goodwill and the solid support that has enabled us to thrive. I'd like to thank the regulators of our operations and the activities of our operations and activities for their unflinching faith and support, without which we would not have come this far. I also like to thank the universe of persons on whose goodwill we continue to thrive. This includes former staff of the company, business partners, suppliers, vendors, contractors, service providers, and many others. Your support has been highly invaluable. Most importantly, I'd like to say thanks to God, who has blessed us with good health, sound mind, and the clarity of thoughts to continue to do what we know how best to do. We are grateful for the positive feedback that has come from the rank and files of our shareholders, our long-standing shareholders, even before we came to the point of the AGM, appreciating the sustained growth and returns on their investments. It is heartwarming that the reach of the seed that was planted 32 years ago is positively affecting the fortunes of not only those who are directly connected, but of many others, and in the process, improving the quality of living. This realization is further fueling our commitment to leave no stone unturned as we manage this business to be the pride of all. Aradel had always been a major player in Nigeria's energy industry. Our 32 years of existence is rich in terms of sector leadership and key practices that we have pioneered. This, for records, includes, among others, the pioneering of marginal oil field development, pioneering the concept of host community development trust fund, pioneering and eliminating routine flaring in our upstream operations, a feat that we achieved in 2012, being the pioneer third-party gas supplier to NLNG, a feat that we have sustained for the last 11 years, among others. In 2022, we successfully listed a Naira bond on the FFDQ, and at the start of this year, we were celebrated by the industry at the Nigerian International Energy Summit, NIES, with the award of being the best integrated oil and gas company in Nigeria. Let me assure that the sustenance of this rich legacy of sector leadership remains our singular focus as we journey on into the distant future. We look forward to the next edition of the annual general meeting of shareholders in 2025, when we shall render the stewardship of our account to you again, as we continue to manage the affairs of this company safely and responsibly, and in a way that will sustain our credentials as the best performing energy investment in Africa. Until then, please continue to give us your support. See you at next year's AGM by God's grace. God bless Aradel Holdings Plc. God bless our nation, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and thank you for listening.